Hello, welcome to the chat. I hope you are ready to talk about this win against Bournemouth, because I definitely am. Huge win we got against Bournemouth earlier on. Was it a thrashing? No, it wasn't. But was it 3 points on the Premier League table? Yes, it was. Are City now second in the league? 1 point behind Liverpool? Yes, we are. And don't worry, I'm going to keep you updated with Arsenal as well, who are playing right as we speak against Newcastle at the Emirates. It is 0-0 at the moment. Arsenal have been dominant, but maybe Newcastle could pull out a surprise. But, without further ado, let's crack on. I believe I got all the substitutes, by the way, for City, obviously. I don't do Bournemouth player ratings. Let me just double check. Yes, I did. Beautiful. But anyway, player ratings. Going with starting with Edison, 6. Didn't really have to do much. Everything he did do, he did fine. But and everything he didn't do, he didn't make any mistakes. Is what I'm trying to say. He did his job and did it to the standard that we expect of him. That's why it's an average performance from him. So, Edison, 6 out of 10 for me. I think that's fair. John Stones going 7.5. Why 7.5? Because I thought he was really important. Okay, he wasn't even just playing inverted. He was actually making big forward runs up the pitch, which usually I don't like with a defender. But I don't know. John Stones just seemed to be right, and he always seemed to be covering when he needed to cover. When Kyle Walker goes up the pitch, we then tend to see an attack go down the left-hand side because he's bombed forward. He will always bomb back, and he will usually get the ball back as well because he's a brilliant defender. But you understand what I'm saying. John Stones seemed to was always going forward a lot, but was always covering as well. Was always making sure he was back when needed to be. Even put in some big challenges today. And that's what we expect of John Stones. So big performance by him. Let's hope he keeps it up. Akanji, a 7 out of 10. I thought backline was pretty solid today, if I'm being honest. I gave him a 7 because I thought he was quite solid. I think this is the best performance since his injury, which is a good sign. Maybe it means that he's on the up now and he's going to be playing a bit more like his former self. Or maybe it's a one-off game, which I hope it's not, and we know Akanji's class, so I doubt it is. But Akanji, 7 out of 10, I think is nice. Arsenal leading, you've got to be having a laugh. I checked the score a minute ago. Blominac. But anyways, shame there, but Gabriel, I swear he always scores for Arsenal. I bet he was a corner as well. I can't lie, they're good at it. Ruben Diaz going 7 for him too. Again, I thought he was solid. Pretty sure he could have had a goal if he'd managed to latch his head onto a cross properly. But he couldn't, and that was that. But defensively again, I can't really see any flaws. Made a block or two, I'm sure. So yeah, Ruben Diaz, 7 out of 10. He was good. 6.5 for Ake. It's because a lot didn't happen down that side, and stuff that did happen just seemed to be like a poor effort from Bournemouth. A long ball over and he would just head it down, or chase with Semenyo and he'd win it. And you can't take credit away from Ake there. It's just I think the rest of the defence did a better job because they had a more difficult job today. And that's no discredit to Ake. It's more of a credit to the other defenders around him. Rodri, 7.5. I thought he was great today, stringing up the passes. Really, really good. It's just so good, isn't it? Pinging long balls into the box and all that. He's just brilliant. And I wouldn't have any other CDM over him because he's just that good for City. And I hope he continues to be that good. He's on 7 yellow cards. If he gets 3 more in the next 5 games, he is out for 2 matches. So it was good today he didn't get booked. It means that he's got less opportunities to mess it up now, but he's still got a lot of time to mess it up. So hopefully he doesn't. But Rodri, he does get a yellow card. We know him too. But good thing is he hasn't had one in his last 6 games, which is big for us. Going on to Bernardo with the 8. Could have given him man of the match. The only reason I didn't was because he wasn't the man who scored. But he was brilliant today, causing nightmares. I couldn't finish my takeaway, it was too filling. I haven't finished mine either. I'm almost there, but it is quite filling. But I think I will manage to cross the line. Although I was a bit fuming. They've given me jalapenos on my pizza, even though I ordered olives and pepperoni. There you go, that's my favourite pizza combination. And I got olives and jalapenos instead. Fuming, so I've had to take the jalapenos out to make my mouth not be on fire. But other than that, it's a good pizza. That's a disgraceful. I know it's never happened for that pizza place either. We usually get very consistent. The only problem is the waiting time. We have to wait a while sometimes, but when the food gets here, it's usually just as you wanted it. Everything else was fine. It's just got jalapenos, and I do not want to have jalapenos burning the flip out of my mouth. But anywho, Bernardo 8 out of 10. He's so good, and I don't think we'll have him in next season. I think a team will buy him for his 50 million release clause, which is going to be gutting, but what can you do? Going on to Matheus Nunes. Giving him a 6. I thought he actually looked pretty good in the first half. I was leaning towards a bit more of a 7, maybe 6.5. Didn't have too much to do, but I actually thought he looked pretty positive. Looked like he wanted to create. But second half, nothing seemed to go right. At one point, we were on a promising looking attack, and he just wasted it. I really hope he works out. Did Man City play well? Yeah, we played well, but that's all we did. We played well. Not the best we could have played, far from it, but we got the win, and that's what counts, isn't it? But, yeah. Nunes, I'm giving him time. I always say first season, even if you smash it, even if you absolutely flop, first season is you bedding in, and the second season is where you have to kick on. I'm looking at you for this one, Matheus Nunes. It applied for Calvin Phillips, he failed. Don't you be the next. Because I see something in you. I know MCFR likes the look of him, but I need to see that. I need evidence. And I've seen sparks, but I need a fire. Going on to Kovacic, 6.5. He didn't have to do much, We're going to go on to the man that did the big work today in just a moment. But 6.5 for Kovacic. He didn't have much to do. Played a good ball into Haaland, which helped him get the goal. If it wasn't for that ball, I maybe would have given him a 6. But overall, Kovacic was pretty good and helped us get the goal that we needed. Phil Foden, my man of the match. He was bro. As usual, when aren't I going to say those words? 8 out of 10, undeniably. Got the goal, It's not a banger. It's not an absolute peach. It would be goal of the month. Oh my lord, come on. It's a Botman own goal, by the way, for the first goal. That's what's been given us. So that's what's saying on Google anyway. Man, I'm closing this Premier League tab. What is the point? Kai Havertz. That's what happens when Karius goes in goals, I guess. No offence to him. That is looking bad. I knew Arsenal win. I think deep down I did too. I just didn't want it to be the case. I was praying that Newcastle could do something. My glasses, man. Shocking. Yeah, that'll have to do. They're ruthless in front of goal. Maybe we should take notes because we struggle. I put it in my title. Well, not in my title, but on the thumbnail. It quite literally says, one sec, big win, but be more ruthless. There you go, you know. Can I say it any more clearer? We have to be more ruthless because we're not going to win every game 1-0 from now to the end of the season. You're having a laugh if you think that's the case. You know, we scored, I think it was 10 goals in the space of 2 games last season. And 18 goals in the space of 4 at one point last season. We scored 3 in the last 3. We need the goals. We actually desperately need them. Because if we don't, then it's not looking good. We will be punished for this. We should have battered Bournemouth today, but instead we had to sit back and defend essentially come the end of the game because Bournemouth were throwing everything they had at us. You know, Haaland had a sitter that he missed, and KDB had a sitter that he missed. I'm not going to give all the criticism to Haaland. KDB should have scored at the back end of the game. You know, there should have been goals today, multiple of them. I get this being unlucky, but you don't get unlucky every single game. Hull and Man City have the same points from the last 3 games. Definitely not a different league, though. Yeah. They're definitely the same. But anyway, Phil Foden, you were brilliant. You are man of the match, and you probably should be Premier League Player of the Month. Since this was the last Premier League game, he's been so good. If he doesn't win Premier League Player of the Month, I was speechless. But going on to Mr. Erling Braut Haaland, I give him a 6.5. You might wonder why. I've said that he's Mr. Sitter, and he didn't do anything else. Did you think Bernardo Silva second man of the match? I did. I would have given him it if it wasn't for Phil Foden, because at the end of the day, I know goals aren't everything, but if Phil Foden doesn't get the goal that he got, then City draw the game, theoretically. You know, we don't know that for certain, but that's how we kind of have to look at it. So, yeah, if this wasn't based on goals and impact on the game, then Bernardo Silva's man of the match. He was so good. He ran Bournemouth ragged in the first half. He still did that in the second half, but he did it a lot more in the first half. Going on to the subs though, Doku, Alvarez, De Bruyne. I'm going to cover them real quick because they didn't really have to do much, if I'm being honest. Again, KDB should have scored. I thought Doku was decent when he came on, but he didn't really do anything. And most of the stuff he did do just didn't end up going his way. And Alvarez, he was okay when he came on. But for Kevin De Bruyne, I'm not too bothered. Make sure he's fine. Make sure he's got no niggles in his niggles inside of his hamstring. You know, that is important at the end of the day. So make sure he is at full fitness. Rest him versus Luton probably. Maybe give him a half. Make sure he's fully fit for Man United. Do you think Bournemouth feel disappointed? Or was it the case Man City should have had way more? The scoreline didn't show that. On paper, this is a tight game. That so on paper, 1-0. You're probably thinking, City probably just couldn't put the ball in the back of the net. And had to settle for a 1-0. But Bournemouth are good. Bournemouth played well. You know, they struggled, of course they did, and it shows because they lost. But they played a good game, Bournemouth. They're struggling at the moment, no wins in the last 5. But they're a good team, Bournemouth. I really like them, and I don't want them to go down, I go as far as saying. And I don't think they will. I think they are good enough to not go down. They're 8 points clear of bottom, with a game in hand on the teams that are in front of them. So, did they have any front goal towards the end of the game, because they were throwing everything at us, and at certain points of the game, yeah. Think Everton go down? Is that a question, or is that what you're stating? If it's a question, if they get another point deduction, they're done. If they don't, I'd have to have a look at both Luton. It's between Luton and Everton for me. You could throw Nottingham Forest in with a shout, probably. Maybe even Brentford, but it's tough. I'd have to have a look at the remaining fixtures from now until the end of the season. So, even without another point deduction, again, I'll have a look at their games, because, you know, for all we know, Everton have got Man United, Liverpool, Tottenham, Arsenal, Newcastle, Villa, West Ham, Wolves all coming up, you know. And for all we know, Luton have got Burnley, Sheffield United, Forest, Brentford, Bournemouth, which they aren't easy games, but they are winnable compared to Everton's fixture list. And they are deciding factors on this back end of the season. So yeah, it's going to be tough for Luton, it's going to be tough for Everton, and I'm excited to see how it goes, because I like a good relegation battle. Because relegation battle it's something that can get fierce and feisty, because teams they are desperate to be in the Premier League. Luton are struggling at the moment, though. Yeah, they are. No wins in the last... Well, 1 win in the last 5. 3 losses in a row, though. But Everton are struggling too. 4 draws in the last 5. 1 loss as well. 1 loss isn't too bad, but they've got to start winning games as opposed to drawing. I'll find out when the last Premier League win was. It was... Oh God, we're going quite far. (2-0) Burnley, 16th of December. You know, that's got to change. They have to start winning these games. Drop points to a 10-man Brighton isn't good. Yeah, you're right. Those are the games that they have to pick up points. I'm sure Brighton threw everything at them at the end of the game, but you know, they should be holding on. You know, it's a bad look for Everton to, on paper, drawing 1-1 with a team that has 10 men. That's a game that you should be winning, really. But I don't know. It's going to be tough for Everton. I don't want them to go down because I like Everton, but I'm not going to cry if they do go down, and I'm not going to be surprised if they go down either. But I am going to call it here. Thank you, Gumps, for interacting. Lots of interesting questions. Everton will be one of the biggest clubs ever to go to the Championship if they go down. Yeah, it's true. You know, Everton are huge. Great stream, says Gumps. Thank you, lad. I actually want to have a conversation about the back end of the season now. Final predictions for all that. So this conversation will probably come up again if you're on the Drink Glimpse about Everton and Luton going down and who will stay up. Thank you though for tuning in. Honestly, great stuff. Appreciate it. Of course I do. And hopefully you will see me tomorrow. And you will see a YouTube short tomorrow as well. Hopefully it does good. Thank you for tuning in. I'll see you very, very soon, hopefully. See you on tomorrow's watch along. Bye-bye.